Okay, hello.
Hello.
We're live.
We're live together, while together.
We're gonna try to see if we can let us know if the screen is flipped. I guess we'll wait for some folks to show up before we can ask that question.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
Thanks for being here.
Hello.
That might be Tammy. Hi.
Hi, Tammy.
Hello.
So
Good to see you.
All right.
I don't know if the screen is flipped.
Are you seeing my left hand or my right hand?
Just let us know.
This is my
Hi,
right
Mike.
hand.
Hey.
I mean, no. No, it's the other
Oh,
right
boy.
hand. This is my left. This is my left over here with the bracelet.
So if this is on the right side,
If the bracelet is on my right hand, then we're backwards.
we're trying to figure out if we can flip the thing.
Hi,
Hi,
Nick.
Mike. Hi, Nick.
Hi, Mike.
Thanks for being here. Hi,
All
Bob.
right.
Hello.
Hi, Bob.
Well, we're just
All
gonna
right.
get
Well,
started.
yeah. Let us know if it looks backwards. There's not going to be a lot of typing, so
He says right hand.
it's on my right hand. Okay, well, it's backwards because we're not left-handed.
Sorry.
We're
More,
not sure exactly how to fix that.
yeah, more research.
Yeah, there is a way, but we haven't quite mastered it yet.
Okay,
All right.
so thanks for being here. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
Here's last week's painting. We did I put a couple little extra eraser block marks. But it's not finished. We need to fix the pastel stick because we just made markings. We didn't actually use the water on it, so it's still fragile, chalky.
Yeah. Still
It
pastel.
It could get mixed up because we want to add more paint and more collage to it.
Right.
So we just wanted to show it to you again. We did cards again if you're interested.
We have four cards this time.
Yeah, just 4.
We have 4 one-of-a-kind cards.
I didn't put them in bags so you could see them a little easier.
Right, so they will be in bags and with an envelope.
And they're $5 free shipping. So let us know in the comments if any of them appeal to you, and hopefully you can see them okay.
And once again, these are one-of-a-kind only. We are only doing one of these. These are
So one-of-a-kind prints
right.
and envelopes.
And envelopes. So we're not going to work on this today because we haven't had a chance to fix it, with fixative. And so we need to fix it so we can fix it. It's too. If we rub on it, it'll just rub off. And some of the pastel stuff, the lines, and some of the background color. So we haven't decided which is right side up or upside down. The cards are going to be, I think the cards have the map printing right side up, but I'm not sure about that.
The cards we just showed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, so anyway, if you look closely at the cards, you'll see that there is map behind there. It's really kind of hard to see from this distance, but yeah, the map is still visible.
So,
All right.
yeah, more work. It'll be
More
fun.
work, and yeah, it's going to be even cooler when we get done.
So today we're starting on a blank piece of oil paper. And thanks Carmen and Joan for being here. What is the size of this?
This is a 22 by 30 full sheet of watercolor paper, watercolor size.
Oil paper.
It's oil paper. It's Archer's oil paper. And it actually, I played around with it a little bit today. It does act very much like watercolor paper, but the oil and the water and the paint doesn't soak through the oil paper. It's got a special sizing on it so that the oil and the pigment stay on top. So we're going to play around with that today.
And then we're also going to play around with some new paints. Lucas Studio. These are acrylics. We just got them. We're only going to use these paints. There's about 13 different colors. And we're going to see how we like them, you know, what they do in terms of mixing. The sap green looks a little bright green more than sap green, so curious to see how it shows up on the paper. So we'll do some paints.
We're also going to mess around with
more maps.
Some maps.
Oh, and hi Kathleen. And Tammy says oil paper for acrylic paints.
Yes.
Elaborate.
Yes, you can use oil paper for acrylics, watercolors, oil paint, anything. It's a multimedia surface basically, but it's a little tougher than regular what's called multimedia paper, which isn't as heavily sized. So there's something on here. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but you can't notice it. You don't see it, and it doesn't make the paper feel any different. But I painted on it a little bit today with the acrylics, and it works fine, and it's good, tough stuff.
Here's a small sample. I'm not going to get too close. Hopefully you can see the detail. It's got some texture and rips pretty nicely.
Here's some, I went at this pretty hard and heavy with a palette knife to see if it would do anything to it, and I soaked it down pretty good, and it doesn't bleed through. So that's the main thing. If you put oil paint on regular watercolor paper, it will bleed through the oil, and the solvent will bleed through the paper and leave a big stain on the back.
And Peter does paint in oils, so it's multi-purpose for him.
Yeah, I've painted in oils on this paper before, and it works pretty great. And so we're going to do it with acrylics today, and it'll be different.
And Tammy said she hasn't heard of that paper, and thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for your good question, Tammy.
Yeah, this one is by Archer. That's right? Archer paper?
Okay.
I think that's right. It says it on there somewhere. But anyway, a couple other people make it, and they're all slightly different, but we're going to play with this one today. All right.
And so we're going to use maps, and we're actually going to rip up these maps. So these are U.S. Geological Survey maps, and we use these a lot in some of our past work. They have a nice, you can't see, but they're kind of smooth, actually.
Yeah, that one is
Although this one's paper.
Right. This one is more like a...
It's a little older.
Yeah, this one is more like the street map paper that we used the other day. This is not quite as thin.
A little thicker.
Yeah. This one is... that one. They're both Florida.
This is Loxahatchee, Northwest Quadrangle, Palm Beach County. So, any Palm Beach County residents?
Yeah.
So we like this one we picked because of all the squares and the colors. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it looks like an abstract painting already. This one is West Dixie Bend, wherever that is. Let's see. It's probably Dixie County. Anyway.
So yeah, so normally we paint directly onto the maps. Today we're going to just rip the maps up and collage them onto the paper, and we're going to layer with paint and maps and other collage materials.
This one is actually down by West Palm Beach or Fort Lauderdale. See if I can zoom in there. I don't know if we get too close it gets fuzzy, but anyway, this one's got some interesting red line for the roads, a little bit of pink, got some green, and got a lot of white. So that one will be a good collage subject as well.
And then we also have some scans from a book on pipings that we got at the Friends of the Library book sale, probably for like a quarter nickel or something ridiculous.
A great big thick book.
And it has all sorts of weird little symbols and diagrams that we thought might be kind of fun in terms of shapes.
Yeah, this book was about how to build a gas refinery. gasoline refinery, oil refinery.
So, pretty interesting.
So yeah, we got
shapes.
some good shapes and some good line work. The diagrams have a very map-like quality about them, and some interesting words and symbols.
So we'll play with that.
There it is. We don't know what we're going to use. We don't know how it's going to go together. But we're going to start.
And,
So
yeah. So we've made adjustments to the palette so you can see us mixing the paint a little easier.
yeah, we changed our setup a little bit. Excuse me.
And
Let's pull this out, shall we?
so.
Now, actually, I think we might be able to move the camera in a little bit.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe.
All right, so hang on to your stomachs. We're going to move the camera. Can you see the palette? Where's that? All right, I guess.
Right here.
Okay.
This is the edge.
All right, so I'm going to tip it down a little bit.
Okay.
How's that?
All right.
Let me put it over this way a little. There we go.
So thanks for being here, and as always, let us know if you have questions along the way.
Right.
And
We're hoping for questions
yeah.
because we don't know what we're doing, and if you ask us, we might be able to figure it out. All right, so also today, I forgot to show the table with all the tools.
Tammy says wonderful. Thank
Okay.
you, Tammy. We're so
All
glad
right.
you're here.
So, can't take the camera off at this point. Here's a few of my giant palette knives. We also have a bucket of regular normal size palette knives we've been playing with.
brushes for collaging, brushes.
Lots of brushes.
Never have
Let's
enough.
see. Do you want to? Yeah, you can pop them right into there if you want. All right. Spray bottle of water. And
Vivian.
also
Thanks for being here.
we have a squeeze bottle. We have a squeeze bottle of matte medium. We're going to use this for our glue. This is our glue. All right.
Okay.
So what are we going to do? Let's see. This is sticking up right in there. That's all right. That's fine. It's great. It's perfect. All right. So we tape this on here a little bit with some little circles of tape on the back. Have no idea what's going to happen to that when it gets wet. Blue tape is not waterproof. But supposedly this paper won't get wet on the other side. So
This is all a big
if it all
experiment.
ends up on the floor in one big whoosh, you'll know what happened.
I'm just going to start by putting down some titanium in the middle,
All
titanium
right.
white, because we use that pretty regularly.
Yeah, we haven't really come up with a color palette today. I guess we will sort of go with the flow.
Yeah.
I noticed on the map, one of the maps has some greens, some interesting greens, and some sort of siennas and yellow ochre. So we got a sienna here and a yellow ochre. So I think I'm going to put some of that out. Burnt sienna is a great mixing color. You can get a really beautiful gray by mixing it with ultramarine blue. So I'm going to put some yellow out over here. There we go. And white. Okay. And let's see. I'm going to put some blue down as well. Let's try this. This is cerulean blue. It's kind of a light blue.
And I just put down some alizarin crimson with a little white, and it's kind of made a pretty delicious pinky red color.
All right.
Blue looks good.
All right, I'm
curious
gonna.
about this sap green.
All right, let's put some out. See how it looks.
It looks really green, not sappy.
I'm gonna try this palette knife. I haven't played with this yet. I don't even know how I'm gonna make it work. But I am going to. I think what I'll do is because I can't really get it into the pile of paint, I think I'm going to scoop up some paint and load the knife with it that way. Can you see that, what I'm doing there? Okay. And I think okay, I got a little sponge here. This is a wet sponge, good for wiping off knives and brushes. So here's what I'm going to do here. This thing has two edges. I'm going to put some of this cerulean blue on this edge, just to see what that looks like, if it'll even come off of there. All right, so I'm going to start over here. Let's see.
So this sap green has a real, I don't know, what would you call this? Like, just like a primary green. I just added white, but this is it on the canvas.
Wow.
So it's not very sap greenish, which has more of an olive hue to it.
And it's dark. It's usually
it's a
dark.
lot darker value.
It's actually more like
Tammy
this color.
says she can see. We can see good. Thank you.
This is they're calling this olive green, but this is actually more of a sap green than normal.
It looks more sappy.
Sap green is generally a mixed color. I mean, it's always a mixed color. So every manufacturer has a different idea of what sap green is. So you have to kind of figure out
just to
whose
compare
paint you like.
Visually, this is the golden sap green.
Right.
Which is really dark. I'm just going to put a little, as you can see right next to it, it's dark.
Yeah.
And it seems more transparent.
It's nothing like this one. Here's this one next to it. But so you can see it's like almost a difference between black and green. Anyway.
So that's kind of interesting.
So that'll be interesting to see what that shows up. It looks to me like it's got some phthalo green in it. All right, so there's my blade. I'm going to spray some water up on it in a few places so that when I pull the paint through the wet areas, it'll do different things. All right, so I want to do this long side over here. All right. So I'm going to go this way. Blue starting to feed in. All right, I'm going to start the blue. I'm going to put a little more water on there. See what that does. Now I'm going to bring the blue across from about there.
Hi, Ann. Thanks for being here.
Ah, that looks cool.
And for those of you that are just showing up, since we started, we're working on a piece of Arches oil paper, and we're going to lay down some paints and then collage on some maps.
Uh-oh.
Whoa.
There it goes. Okay, so what I've done now, I sprayed some more water on it. Now I'm using that same knife to just sort of spread it around. Get an idea of what this color does when it gets thin. I like what's happening up here with the cerulean blue and the yellow ochre. Oh, was that yellow ochre or burnt sienna? Ah, that was yellow ochre, not burnt sienna. That's looking pretty cool. I'm going to put a little more of this blue in here.
And then I just took some of that alizarin crimson and mixed it in with the sap green and the tiniest bit of raw umber to get this kind of almost plum color. Here.
All right. try a different one. That one's a little awkward. And this, try this bigger one. This one is a nice big one also. It'll cover a lot of ground. It gives me a little bit better angle to play with. And I got 3 different surfaces to play with there too. All right, let's try a different color. Let's see. What do we got here? Let's try this olive green. Did you put out some olive green?
No.
All right. We'll put out some olive green right here. Uh-oh. Doesn't want to come out. Huh. All right. Here we go. Maybe there's something in there. There it goes. The ultramarine blue came out like water, and this stuff barely comes out. Okay, there's the green. All right. Oh, that's nice. Let's see what happens when we pull that down. So this red is a little bit more of a transparent color. It's pretty nice the way it kind of glazes over that.
This goes over the green pretty nice too.
Yeah.
That's the alizarin crimson. Which
That's
has
the alizarin crimson?
Yeah, it's got like a half and half. It's like in the middle of transparency according to the tube,
Huh.
I think.
Yeah. And I don't know how you can see it out there, but to my eye, this is more of a magenta. Of the alizarin crimsons tend to be more violety generally. So this color is a little bit leaning more towards the magenta.
I added white to it.
Aha.
So that's what that color is.
All right. Looks great. I love it. I'm going to put a little more over here, actually. Let's put it on. A little thicker and see what happens. Now, I think I'll hit that with a spray. And
These paints are kind of nice. I mean, the colors don't quite match up to, I think, what we're used to working with, but in terms of quality of pigment, they seem pretty nice.
yeah, they definitely have a good pigment load. We're not using much paint at all, and it's covering pretty well. So we like that. So that magenta and the yellow ochre make a pretty cool color. Whoops, whoa. Actually, it makes a pretty warm color, which is cool.
Okay, so if you have any questions, don't hold back.
Yep, no holding back here. All right, we got some grid-like stuff going on there. All right, let's put a little, let's see, what color should I mix here? I'm going to try toning down this sap green with a little burnt sienna. So I don't know if you can see that or not, but the burnt sienna and the sap green. And I'm going to bring that like right up through here, I guess. I'm going to hit some water on there though. Right in there. And the rest of it will stay dry. Let's see what happens when the paint hits the water. Kind of does this nice granulation effect. Now, I don't want to get too much into the other colors. Okay, I'm going to try to find a line down there.
Let's see here. What have we got? Yes, we can see. Mike wants to know how long we've been working together. I think
good
we
question.
did our first piece in the fall of 2017. We did a diptych with 2 small square canvases. I think they were 6x6s.
Right.
And we worked on them together and then ended up donating them to Gainesville Fine Arts Association. And
Yeah.
that was our first piece. And then for Christmas that year, we made holiday cards together using maps, like the USGS maps we showed you. So, what was that, almost 3 years now?
Yeah. And that first painting that we did, we had to come up with a title. And we knocked around a bunch of different things and finally ended up with Wild Together. And that's where our name came from.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm going to smear some partially mixed, what is this? The cerulean blue and the yellow ochre. Now that's the same colors I have up here. There's a little magenta, a little of the alizarin in there as well. I just want to change this up a little bit. Right, let's put it dark. I'll just put it there. And there. So what I'm doing there is I'm putting the paint down, just sort of skimming it on there. But then I'm putting pressure on the edge of the blade to sort of scrape it back. And that's giving me a line with a cross. It's also taking up some paint and mixing it, so I'm getting some different color.
I haven't tried any yellow yet.
All right.
This is Cad Yellow Hue. We'll see what happens there. I'm going to try to make that green a little limier, maybe. The sap, which is what they're calling sap.
Yikes. It's like, it's more like an emerald green than a,
yeah,
than a sap.
It's weird.
All right. Got another knife here. Let's see what this one does. I'm going to try a little of that pinky color that Michelle mixed up. And add it in right here. See if I can get it to vibrate with some of this green. One more. That's it. All right, now, this is kind of ugly. Now that's the mixed up color. This would, it came from here. Brought it up there. Let's see if we thin it out, what happens. So, we get drips.
Yeah, drips.
All right.
entertained the possibility of working, I guess, vertically or.
Yeah, vertically.
Well, I'm sorry, that's not what I was talking about. You can flip it, but.
I'm just gonna flip it for the moment, see where the drips go.
Of working overhead, so we would put the piece down on the table because we didn't want to tape the paper like we did last week, because the paper has this beautiful deckled edge, and we wanted
Right.
to be able to paint right up to it as opposed to having a little deckled border, white border. So we're back to how we normally paint with you all.
Which is the ability to flip the painting, just to see what new angles come out. And also, it makes the drips interesting when they change direction. So now I can get rid of some of this really dark color. Because I sprayed it. And now this paint is fairly staining, and well, I don't know actually. I don't know if it's the paper or the paint or both. Thing I've noticed about watercolor paper, whenever I used Archer's watercolor paper, I did watercolors for quite a while, that it stains easily, so that when a paint goes on it, it sinks into the fiber of the paper and you can't get it back out. I like to paint on Fabriano, which is has a different sizing and is a little easier to lift off color. So I'm having a hard time lifting out color here. When I say lifting out color, let me take a brush and see if I can show you what I mean. Usually it's a stiffer brush, but this might work. So you take a damp brush and you go back into the wet paint, and you should be able to lift it out. It's probably going to take a stiffer brush. And this is acrylic, so once it's dry, that's it. It isn't going anywhere. Okay. We've got it almost covered up. All right, let's see. What else can we put in there? What should we put in here?
I was thinking maybe bring some of these orangey colors, litter those in the
Okay.
white spots.
I like that. Let's take some of that alizarin. Is this the alizarin over here in this corner?
Yeah.
All right. Take some of that and mix it with this yellow ochre. And we get this sort of interesting orangey color. All right, so let's go put that right in here.
Hi, Melanie. Thanks for being here. Oops. Let us know if you have questions. We're painting on
Archer's
Arches
oil paper.
What did you say, 20 by 30?
22 by 30 full sheet watercolor paper size. And I'm going to put some more of that in there. I kind of like that. That's the alizarin, and
thanks for being here. Let us know if you have any questions.
Okay.
Just plain.
I think I want to put some white.
That sounds good.
I'm going to take a big streak of white, a big pile of white, and just come right over this stuff. As happened last week is happening again this week right in here where I was pressing against the paper is wet now and it's got color on it, and so I pressed into it and I got the corrugated cardboard texture to come through, so we have a grid line showing up down here from that. Whoa. Okay. All right. Want to flip it back down to horizontal?
Almost.
All right. Clean off this blade a little bit. All right. I will go ahead with the brush as well.
Should we flip it 180? I mean, I'm sorry, another 90 degrees.
All right.
that way.
Yep. I think that's a good idea. Like that?
Yeah.
All right.
Hi, Pete and Michelle. Looking very interesting. Thanks, Anne.
Hi, Ann.
Glad you like it.
Let's see. I'm going to try some more green. Well, this is the blue-green of the cerulean blue. Where do I want that? Right there. Get the red to vibrate a little bit. All right. Okay, what do you think? Oops, I should have gone that way. I think it's time to start sticking some maps to this baby. And maybe some line work. What did we do for, what did we didn't really,
I brought out the pit pens.
oh, okay.
If you want to use those.
Hmm.
And we have the pastel sticks behind you.
Oh, yes.
Oopsies.
Did I just knock that out of view? What happened? Sorry about that.
Whoops.
My big butt got in the way.
I'm going to put the medium in there.
All right.
Tammy thinks it's starting to look tropical.
Tropical.
Yeah,
Very
that sounds
good.
yummy. Tropical paradise.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Particularly in there. That magenta and the yellow ochre make a nice combo.
I've been a big fan of magentas and pinks, but lately been using them a lot for
Yeah.
whatever reason.
You know. Me either. But here it is, and we like it. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to join in the fun with something from this map. I'm going to use this map. And see what that does.
Okay. Starting to look tropical. Tammy says she can see fine. Good. Thank you. Mike says, with all the horrible news these days, it's nice to relax to watching some masters of their craft. Sorry for my lack of questions. Well, don't worry. Thank you for being here. It's been a wild week for sure globally, and art has always been a good antidote in times of trouble.
Yep.
So we're happy to have you here and happy to be a little tropical oasis.
Let's see what we got here. There's a little piece with some white. Oh, I'm going to take the white off of there. I don't want the white right now. I think that goes with that right up there.
So the paper is kind of buckling a little
Uh-oh.
more. You know, it's a little...
Oh, yes,
flimsy,
it
I guess
is.
the right word.
It's buckling for sure. All right, let's put a little of this goop on here. So probably what I should have done is stretch the paper before taping it down, which means getting it wet, let it expand, and then tape it down. And then when it shrinks, it stretches, and it pulls it tight, and it won't buckle like that. That brush has got a lot of paint on it. Does it need more matte heating?
It just got picked up. Sometimes the brayer picks up the
Ah,
paper.
yeah, the brush is pretty wet.
There you go. And actually the brayer is leaving some interesting textures, which maybe you'll see in the up-close segment.
Yeah,
Let me give you a zoom in.
yeah, we might do that. Take it off of there and come a little closer. I like the way this magenta is showing up against this yellow background. I wonder if we should put some of that over there somewhere.
Yeah.
Or cover it up. All right, I like this grid effect that I'm getting with these pieces of paper. All right, so I'm gonna throw a little more medium on there. So I just squeeze it out of the bottle, butter it like toast. I have a lot of experience with that. Probably more experience than with paint. Now there was a little color on the knife, but you know what? It doesn't really matter. It's gonna stick anyway. Now that map definitely wants to curl up. Okay, I'm gonna hide this little area right here.
Oh, good. I was just going to do something with that.
And put a little bit of a diagonal in there. All right, that'll stick down. We'll hold that like that.
Right, give it a little bring just to, you know.
Squeegee out the extra glue.
Yeah, get the bubbles out.
All right. Okay. Let's see. How about some of this? How about some of that right in there?
make that edge not so
Not so straight.
straight.
All right, I'll save that. That actually might be interesting somewhere else.
Yeah.
All right, put a little medium on there. Again with the toast. Okay. Okay, let's see. Where was I gonna put that?
Over here.
Oh yeah, down right in there. Oops, got a little magenta on there.
That's okay. Definitely need some brain.
Yep. All right, very good. Huh. All right, now let's see. I want to lighten this up a little bit with another piece of paper. I'm going to take this map, which has got a little bit of pink in it. That's a pretty big piece. All right, this has got some kind of cool lake view. It's called Lake View. All right, let's put Lake View in there. Lake View, here you go. It's getting dark over there. How about down there? Looks like Texas. We don't want that. All right, spray that on there. I don't have to worry about it getting out too much to the edge because when it gets brayered, it squeegees all that.
Hello, Eric. Thanks for being
Hello.
here.
All right, here we go. Let's stick with the grid line this time. I'm going to go down near the edge. Whoops, I didn't quite get enough glue in there. Sure. Okay. A little bit more. Right under there. There. Lovely.
Okay. Yeah, cooking.
All right, now what? How about a little of this color? Texas. All right. And now let's go back to that magenta color. I'll put a little yellow oak in there as well. Woohoo! Look at that. That's cool. More map. Is some here?
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm using that
There
one.
we go.
Thank you.
This. There you go. We're getting close to the end here.
Yeah, we're
All right.
to the 3 o'clock mark,
What are we gonna do?
which we always go over.
We always go. It's hard to make a painting in an hour, even when you got two people.
It's easy to lose track of time too.
Yeah, because this is so much fun. All right, so I just ended up covering up a little bit of the map that we put down. So, ooh, look at that! It just rubs right off. That's not good. There goes the map. Okay, that's not a good idea. Let's get that out of there. And I kind of like that, so I'm gonna. Oh, here's something interesting. We got a nice little tree pattern going on here. I think I'll put that in there. Where we messed it up. That. Whoa. There you go. There's some paint on that. Watch out.
Yeah,
Okay. Cool. All right. Certain parts of this are looking really cool. Maybe we should zoom in right now.
I just want to try something.
All right.
I've kind of been wanting to try for a while.
All right. Let's give it a try. All right. We're trying something.
I'm trying something crazy.
Oh,
I'm taking
boy.
a piece of saran wrap and I I put some black paint onto it. I'm going to take my brayer and I'm just going to slap this on there. Oh, that didn't work out.
No, but maybe it did.
Maybe it did. I'm not sure. Just gotta fold it down.
There it goes. Like you got a handprint on there.
Okay.
All right, cool. All right, I'm going to take the camera off because it's getting near 3 o'clock. And we're probably going to keep going, but people might want to leave. So hang on to your stomachs here. I'm going to move the camera. All right, now I'm going to see, how can I do this? Switch out of the...
Okay, you
How do
would
you-
just hit this button here. Okay, now you're
All
on.
right.
And I think there's a comment. Right?
Comment Ann says, thank you both. Well,
Thank
you're
you,
welcome,
Ann.
Ann.
And Mike says, like that move with the black paint. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah,
I-
it came
I
out pretty
really
cool.
liked it.
There's one little spot down here that I really like. That color right there. The yellow ochre over the magenta came out really nice.
There you go. Let me put the drop cloth there.
Oh boy. Is it running down?
It is.
That's kind of a wild color combination there. It looks definitely brighter on the screen than I'm seeing. This color right here looks very blue, but in real life, it looks more green. So who knows what you're seeing? Ooh, that drippy run looks good. Thanks, Mike. Yeah, that came out great. Actually, that looks really cool right in there.
And Joe Bianchi, hi, hello. Enjoyed watching the duo process. Thanks for watching. Nick Burge says it looks great and he loves the colors. Thanks,
All
Nick.
right.
Tammy says it's beautiful.
All right.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
Tammy.
Glad you guys are enjoying it. It's
All right.
fun.
I'm going to back out. Now, of course, we're going to be taking pictures of this. And, oop, there's my hand. Sorry about that.
Thanks, Joanne.
There'll be more images of it in stills to be looked at on the Facebook page.
Yep.
So definitely join us on the Facebook page.
And
And we're probably going to continue to work on this right now for a little while. So if you want to hang out, that would be great. You can see what we're going to do.
yeah, and we've got, I put the cards from last week. We have the cards from this week. Right now they're not on the website, but there's other originals on the website. The link is in the description, as well as the Ko-fi link if you want to contribute to the microphone fundraising effort. $3 for a cup of coffee, which goes towards us buying a microphone.
Right. So,
And thank
yeah.
you, Mike. Glad you like it. I think there needs to be some black over here. So we'll try this a little more controlled this time.
Squeegee out.
Yeah. Oh, we cover it up.
Woo!
That's what it's all about.
So now we can also do this.
Yeah. Okay, more maps.
Ooh, I got an idea. Let's put some of this yellow ochre. Where did it go? There it is, right there. Squeeze out a little of that. Yep, that's the burnt sienna.
Oops.
Okay, yellow ochre. Going down. And the alizarin crimson. Which is this? Oh, there's some out there. All right, so I'm going to pick up a little of that and pick up a little of that. And see where that takes us. I'm going to cut right through this black, if that's okay with you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go this way because if we're going that way. Let's see, where am I going to go here? I think I'll go this way. Ooh, big blob. Oh, really? Oh. Huh. Huh.
Alright, well, it's thoroughly made a mess.
Yeah. I'm gonna leave that. I kind of like it. Maybe break it up. Little piece of mat. Ooh, I know what I'm gonna break it up with. A symbol. Where'd those little symbols go? All right. So here are some symbols from the pipe diagram book. And they, I think, are going to fit perfectly right in here. Just sink that right in there. Cool. All right. How about another symbol? Right? Mind if I put something on here? This black right here? It doesn't need to be brighter, I already slathered it on both sides. All right, this is getting interesting in here now. This is looking pretty cool. Some of the background showing up. Now, let's see. Nothing is precious. Okay. How about sugar? So I'm just going to put a little medium right on the painting this time and slap it down. Okay. Oops, sorry if that's all you saw was the back of my head there. Oops. That looks like a green brush stroke, but it's actually a map. All right. Starting to get a focal point in here somewhere, looks like. This is an interesting little symbol. It's like a cross falling over. Is anybody still with us? Good looking hand, no worries. All right, so here's a cool little, we don't, you know, we're working it on one orientation so far, but we did vertical, yeah. So it's hard to tell what's going to be upside down.
You want to flip it again?
Oh, good. What do you think? This is a wild one. Wilder than most.
Hi, Nina. How are you?
Hi, Nina.
Hi, Tammy is still here.
Hi,
so
Tammy.
Thanks
Good
for
job.
being here.
Thank you. I think we need something right in there. What do you think? I don't know. There you go. Perfect.
Oops.
Let's see. I'm gonna try some.
Nina says hi, kids.
Hi, Nina. Take a little white. Let's see. Cool. Let's see what happens. There's a thin white right there, and then drip it on there. Cool.
They look like little flowers.
Yeah, palm trees.
I tried to talk to the phone. I thought I was FaceTime. Nina. Yeah, we can only, it's a one-way system right now. Thanks for being here. Want to flip it again?
Sure. Oops, this isn't working very well. Okay. You flipping it?
Let's flip it.
All right.
Vertical?
I'll just go this way and see what it looks like.
Alright.
You can
Oh,
see
that
it?
looks interesting.
Yeah.
This sort of diagonal thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me step back and have a look. Yeah. I like that diagonal thing. Maybe I can accentuate that a little bit. Uh-huh.
Tammy says I'll be interested to see how that paper is when it's dry.
Yeah.
So will we, I think.
My guess is it's going to flatten out a little bit.
That's the hope. No. I might need to use a heavier medium on this map.
Ah.
It keeps coming up.
Oh, really?
This one came up and this one. This guy's bubbling
Huh.
too.
Where's the other one?
I just fixed this one.
Okay.
Oh, and this guy's getting a little crinkled up here.
Okay. Where was he going to put that? I guess this red somewhere. Okay. About ready to knock it off. Call it a day on this one for the time being. I want to glaze some color onto some yellow over this thing right here. Gonna get a little. This is going to make some interesting cards when we
Yeah, this
Well,
will
we come into this
basically, Tammy says, thank you again, it's fun to see the process. Thank you so much for being here, Tammy. We really appreciate you and all your questions and comments. It's nice. What will probably happen with this is we will chop it up, and it will either turn into individual cards or matted originals, original greeting cards, which is something we do like during the holidays. Or it will turn into ephemera that we would then collage onto something else. So, yeah.
got a big blob of paint right there and right there. I don't know what to do with
What do you mean?
these green.
Alright.
So I'm making a new green or brown. I don't know what the hell color this is going to be. I want to lighten it up. I don't know what it needs. Kind of like everything at this point.
Yeah. Thanks, Pete and Michelle. Are you able to ship cards prints to Canada from the website?
I think so. We'll make sure we can.
Thanks, Nick.
Thanks, Nick. I like this little sunset thing you got going right there. I think the website set up this ship to Canada.
Should be.
Yeah.
Thanks, Nick. Thank you.
That's a nice color. What is that?
That's what little bit of sap green was left with this olive green and some white.
Okay. That's looking more like sap green. That looks good. I like that. Pull it down a little bit. Not much. So it looks like our color palette turned out to be green and red.
And blue.
And blue, yeah. I guess it's blue on the screen. This is blue. Bluish green. Greenish blue. Not sure which. I'm ready to stop, I think. We need to stop and look at it. Let's do another close-up run.
Alright, we can move this bucket out of the way. The piece, let's see here. Tammy says she loves the color palette. Thanks, Tammy.
Thanks, Tammy.
It's almost like a repeat of last week.
It is a little bit.
Inadvertently. It seems to be soothing. Mike says this piece is looking good. You guys are great at abstract. Thanks, Mike. We do
Thanks.
enjoy it.
Yeah. It is fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so wheel that down out of the way. Where is it?
Do you want to flip it?
There it goes. Whoa. All right. See, I think it gets more interesting when you get close. These colors look really intense in this camera. Yes, it does get more interesting close up, Tammy says.
Yeah.
Thanks,
definitely.
Tammy. Yeah.
And that's why this would be fun to actually chop it up
Yeah.
and make small originals from
Yep.
it.
Yeah, we're going to get some cool small originals from this one. Who knows? Maybe an even slightly bigger original. We usually do 5x7s. Okay. Love the map chunks on there, trying to map out the madness. Yeah. Yes, it definitely gets madder when you come out this far, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks a little crazy.
Yeah. But when you come in closer, it gets kind of interesting.
Also, the faces showing up.
There are a lot of faces in this one. Okay. Now what?
Let's show them the cards one last.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So do you want to just pop them in front of me here?
Okay. So these aren't on the website yet. Sorry. That's one.
Let me focus on that one.
Oops. Okay. That's one.
All right.
This is two.
So this is from last week's painting, and these are prints from it.
Yeah. One of a kind
We
prints.
haven't finished it yet, and so we haven't chopped it up or anything. We're just photographing it. What number is this?
3.
Number 3 with the red and green.
And number 4.
And number 4 has a kaleidoscope of color. I like that one. All right, that looks good. That's
Okay.
number 4.
So let us know if you're interested. They come with an envelope. They're printed on linen. They're $5 and free shipping.
Yep.
Um,
So, any more questions? Or want to flip it back? There we go. All right, here we are. In an actual selfie mode.
Weird.
Ooh, that fan blade is driving us crazy. Come on
Okay.
over here.
Tammy says 4, please. Thank you, Tammy.
Number 4 has been spoken
All
for.
right. I'll just show that to you.
All right,
There you go.
there's number 4.
And Mike wants number 3. Yes, Tammy, send us a message, and we'll send you the ordering
Yeah, we'll get
stuff.
we'll get the
And Mike gets number 3. Make a little note.
number 3. Did we show him number 3 again?
I didn't.
Oh, okay. Here we go. And coming over here, you get number 3. I don't know which one's number 3.
There's a method to the madness.
Michelle
This one's number
figured 'em out.
3.
Oops, wait a minute.
Oopsies, we're backlit. That's
Number
number 3 for
three.
Mike. And then Nick says he'd like number 1.
All right.
So let me just get these labels.
I'm trying to not have that fan in there. There we go. And you can see a little bit of the painting.
So number 1 for Nick.
Number 1.
There you are.
Thanks, Nick. That's a
thank
really
you.
cool one.
And then this is the last one, number 2. If
Ah,
anybody's
yes.
interested, just send us a message,
Yep.
and we're happy to.
That number 2 actually is pretty cool too. Yeah, so that I think are they all on the website yet? We don't
Not
know.
these.
No, these aren't on the website.
Last week's are the remaining.
Right, whatever's left over gets on the website. So that last one may be on the website before next week. Otherwise, just send us a message. I like number 2 also, just to clean you guys
Okay,
out.
cool.
Okay, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Good job. A sellout show.
Yay.
Yes. We love it.
All right. Well, thank you guys for being here. It was
Thanks so much.
a little quieter than normal, but we had fun painting.
Yes.
As we always do.
We
And
kind of get into it this time.
yeah, and we're gonna do it again next week if you want to join us
Yeah.
again. We love having you.
Yep.
It's fun since we can't see you in person anymore.
Yeah.
This is as close as it gets
Yeah.
to talking to you.
Yeah.
So
This is
thank you
kind of
all.
an art show or something in a
Yeah.
box.
Yeah. Tammy,
Thanks,
have a great
Tammy.
week. You too. We
Yeah.
look forward to seeing you all next Sunday at 2 p.m. again. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Yeah.
And message us, Tammy, and we'll get your address and all of that.
Yep.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate you guys.
Yes. Thanks again. And we will see you soon.
Great
Good
job.
job.
guys.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
Take care. Stay safe,
too.
everybody. Wear that mask.
Okay.
All right.
Goodbye.
See you
Love
soon.
you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.